maybe even, dare I say, traction pulse.
Oh,
That's a
wait,
fight turner.
Yeah, you're right.
It's just going to be very difficult to engage in the lane and play the long run of things. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to game number 1 in this best of 3. One of these teams are moving up into the next stage of the wild card between Legion Esports and Rare Atom.
Now, right off the bat, we do have both of the junglers will be starting. Okay, both of the junglers starting on the northern side, so they will end off at the EXP lane. So perhaps this is going to be a little bit more of a going to be a lot of fights going on down in the bottom lane. I don't expect too much from Meow this early on, especially since there's going to be a lot of rotations going in. So Meow can't technically play so much of that proxying to upkeep on the Radiant stacks.
I love how Meow actually invested in the agility. Shocker getting a little bit of damage. That's what I'm talking about. It's going to be difficult for him. Talay, no, force the flicker so soon.
Too soon. But at least with 120 seconds, technically speaking, you would miss that timing for the first turtle. Hopefully, we don't see a need for him to pop that off.
I mean, that's one problem. The other is, can he reach level 4 in time? He got displaced. It's a technical knockout. He got sent home early, and I guess he can equalize with the EXP passive on Valentina. But let's talk about the gold lane here. Daylight versus Mikey. I'd reckon it's a skill matchup if the Moscow can find the angles. And of course, the extra guidance from Cram God should pay dividends. Now, Meow, again, the fact on agility, Uranus is so slow, man. I played Uranus jungle, played Uranus XP earlier today. He's just so slow.
He's very slow.
He needs the extra move speed.
So getting the agility is always a nice touch. That way you will just constantly be right in the face of your enemies and just give them absolutely no comfort spot.
See, here we go. They switch up, giving some EXP in mid to Meow. Don't jump in!
With a flicker going in, just wanting to get a kill out onto Joga, and manages to successfully do that. That is the jungler that is out of commission from the side of Legion Esports, effectively giving Rare Atom a very good chance to take this turtle down.
They're still staying. What's the plan here? Cram God doesn't have an ult. Shocker does have one. Here comes the SOD!
Well, Lanaya still managed to take that in the bag, no problem. Legion Esports, even though they were a little bit comical at that one, they still managed to back off.
Hope is free, all right? It's one thing to say, maybe we can get it, but without a retribution, without a solid plan, best case scenario for Legion Esports, no one else died. Rare Atom, clearly in control, up by about 400, 500 gold. Relatively low committal lineup. I guess that's one of the strengths of the double, triple marksman lineup. As long as you have a solid front line, your marksmen are around, and your opponents aren't in your face as much as they'd like to. Again, luckily they're playing with just a Uranus and a Grok. What if they were playing with something like, again, a Lapu-Lapu, an Arlot, or a Terizla? Would be much worse. So maybe that's what we're waiting for. Joga, what's Joga doing?
Joga? Not in a good spot, but never mind. He's still pretty okay. He does have got the temporal rain to at least get himself a second dash in.
Yep, extra dashes once the ult gets popped. Now, back to the fact of the matter is, Rare Atom have full control. Until Legion Esports do something to take them out of this comfort zone, then expect this 500 goal lead to, again, there you go, balloon up to 600, 700, 1,000 approaching.
I'm looking for the power spike of Legion Esports. When is the point in time where they start to kind of fight back against Rare Atom and stands a decent chance?
I reckon third turtle. Usually that's where some teams go and let's say, yeah, it's been a tough laning phase. 6 minutes passed. We can try again. Let's go. Legion Esports, I'm guessing they're waiting for that because now at least Shocker has a better grasp of their opponent's rotations, better grasp at how they can steal ults better.
But one thing's for sure though, Lanaya and Joga manages to find themselves in the same XP range. So even if Joga happens to, you know what, let me just go and steal some turtle games, that is still a very viable thing. If you do not want to commit into a full-blown fight for the turtle, at least as a assassin, you can kind of dash in, dash out, and kind of do what you can.
I guess that's one good thing both teams have going for them. They both have assassins. They both can kind of steal moments away. Despite the huge momentum shift. Powerful. A lot of pressure on a Meow. This is good for Meow. Radiant stacks. Always happy to have him. Down bottom, Joga putting pressure on Don. It's not working, man.
Yeah, it's a full-blown ultimate that's already been used, and then just tickles Don just a tad little bit.
Don don't care. Turtle started up already by Rare Atom. Down to 3/4. Cat9 putting up a Vanguard here. Drops the Glorious Pathway.
The Glorious Pathway pushes Joga away. Meow is still within of the mids and hoping to see something, but it doesn't seem like Rare Atom is going to give Legion Esports any space at all.
Still nothing, despite all of the efforts. Daylight. Oh, first the flicker. What was that?
I think this is still gonna be fine. The traction pulse at least forced the flicker. That is 120 seconds of that battle spell. Rare Atom would do whatever they can to kind of occupy the entirety of the map, with the rivalizers completely dominated by them. Legion Esports just don't dare to get close at all.
All right, this is impressive. Despite the struggle that Legion Esports are going through in the laning phase of Game 1, Joga still got a 200-300 gold lead onto Lanaya.
I'm surprised.
A lot of pressure. Oh my God! What is a gold lead? To an angry Apu-Lapu. John catches him one-on-one. Sir!
That's a goal lead gone now.
Sir, that's not... What?
Oh man, this is how tanky and how damaging a Lapu-Lapu is at this point in time.
Note, never commend small wins in odd positions. It was so... What was it? That was the second or third time he tried to kill Don, but he got killed instead.
Indeed. In fact, he didn't really quite learn his lesson the first time. Even though he went all out with his ultimate, he didn't even get Don to 1/4 of his HP.
Mind you, this is post-patch Lapu-Lapu. In the most recent hot fix, 1.9.92, they reduced his damage reduction. So that means he's been getting kills and been outscaling the damage of Joga early on by just using the Bravest Fighter second skill on a solo target. That's minimal damage reduction.
This is just absolutely crazy, right? And now Don, he's not in a very good spot though, as the Spear of Destruction is just gonna land right on top of Don. He doesn't have a lot of spell offense to work with, as 4 members are utilized just to bring him down.
Numbers don't lie, man. It's hard to fight against 4, no matter how ahead you are. And that lead so far, pushing up to 2,000 gold here. Rare Atom making sure that the third turtle power spike, what we were expecting at least, optimistically for Legion Esports, is still but a long shot. Lanaya here, cornered by the Guardian's barrier. Doesn't matter, can dash right through. And wow, it's Meow first to the scene. What's going on?
He always want to be there first, but it doesn't seem like Legion Esports have got a lot of backups or secondary inputs to really help Meow out. They have to go all the way out for Crime God in order for them to get themselves in. And finally, Joga takes a turtle for themselves with the Glorious Pathway, allowing Rare Atom to kind of chase up against Joga, but unfortunately, no can do for them.
What's odd is Lanaya was there, actually. It seemed like for about 20-30 seconds, Legion Esports pulled the plug. Rare Atom, their processors, they just stopped. They couldn't comprehend exactly how Mia was staying underneath a pit for so long, relatively unharmed, and how Joga, I reckon it's because of the EXP. And the gold that he's, weirdly enough, ahead on Lanaya. From where's he getting this? There are still some greens left. Is it just me or is he stealing?
300 gold.
Is he stealing? Is he always crossing over? Where Lanaya's actively taking his own camp, Joga's taking the other half?
I don't think so, actually. I've been seeing Joga down in the lanes a lot more often. It seems like he's clearing out the waves and he's doing cleanup duty for some of these waves, at least to play on the macro standpoint.
So he's taking his own jungle, he's taking the lanes.
Bottom lanes, yeah.
And is this because he's just faster slightly than the Lancelot that has to pay attention to other objectives?
I would like to believe so, and especially since you can, of course, use the dash anytime. Well, in the meantime, Lanaya mostly just wants to dash from one unit to another. But in the meantime, take a look at the top lane. Meow has Flicker.
Meow is rocking Flicker down bottom. Oh. How about round 3, baby? Joga versus Don. He's got Cram God. Assist them. That's not fair.
Yeah, it's fine.
But they still retreated. You see that?
Yep.
But sent them back.
2-person ran away from Don. They know just how crazy Don is. In fact, I think Don has, what, 8,000 gold in his bank right now?
Big flex. Big flex. He is the most successful member of Rare Atom. Looking at it now, he's up 2,000.
Okay,
he's up
2,000. Yes,
on
6,000.
Meow. And you know what? Looking back, that might actually be detrimental to Rare Atom. You would want this gold lead on your cores. You want it on Lanaya, Paufu, on Mikey, but it being on Don, it actually bite them in the behind. Might not. That's not the best place for the gold to be.
But perhaps it would definitely help them in the early to the mid stages of the game, but...
Which we're leaving, by the way.
Yeah, exactly. So now the scaling is on Joga. The scaling is definitely on the daylight for Tad a little bit, but in the meantime, Shocker actually takes away that Glorious Pathway and just trying to look for something. Cram got all the way at the back, but where is Joga though? Because the Lord currently is already lower than half HP. Lanaya is focusing on the Lord as much as possible, but unfortunately, it doesn't seem like Joga was able to make it in time, but he went straight in for Mikey. Mikey with a hop, skip and a jump, he ensures to get himself away from the hands of Joga, but the rest of the members coming from the Southern Legion Esports continue their onslaught down onto Rare Adam, allowing Daylight to come in with a lot of those piercing damage with Powerful as well as Cat9 going down, but unfortunately at the cost of his own life.
Daylight popped there. Might have bitten off more than he could chew. Legion Esports, a very ambitious approach. One, they tried to go for the steal. There was just way too much happening underneath the Lord for that to happen. Joga did try his darndest, but second, Legion Esports, I think Lord was secondary. They went for the turn. Most importantly, they went for the turn and they did get Mikey. They didn't get Mikey. They get Cat9. They got Pao Fu. That was one of the first casualties. But at the end of the day, I think Rare Adam still won out, especially with the kill on Daylight.
It doesn't seem like Joga have got an avenue to get himself closer to the closer over to the Lord, because he was kind of stuck in the middle lane brushes and trying to look for. Hey, maybe, oh wait, there we go, Mikey finally going down to the hands of Joga as this is going to spawn up into a huge fight. Joga is going to go down to the hands of Lanaya, and Lanaya picking himself out with a double kill. In fact, with Meow down for the count now, with all of these two members down, Rare Adam actually find himself in a really good opportunity.
I'm seeing a pattern, and it's not even in game. Abstract, is it just me, or does Legion Esports take a while to warm up? They need game one to figure out their opponent's patterns, to understand what their opponent's getting up to. And I hate to say it, but they seem to be one of those download teams. You ever heard of a download game?
Download game?
Yeah, a game wherein win or lose, most likely lose, you take every single resource you can to try and understand your opponents. Because that's what happened yesterday against the Mongos.
So just absorb whatever you can in game number one and just bank everything in for the following few games.
Yeah, because the way Legion Esports is playing in game number one, 12 minutes in, is it's very reactive. It's very, okay, you do you, we'll see what we can get away with. You do you, we'll try this thing. It doesn't work, okay, we'll try it again. If we lose, so be it. There's still game 2 and game 3. That seems to be what's going on. Again, Legion Esports far from losing, ladies and gentlemen. They still have their inhibitors. They are down, but what? 4,000, 3,000 and a half gold. It's just the first lore that went down, but
still recoverable though. It's very, very recoverable.
It's not as proactive a Legion Esports as I'd like.
Yeah,
that's what I'm saying. Is they're very okay. We'll see. We'll see. It's always we'll see.
Very aggressive stance coming from Southern Lanaya. Rare Adam more or less have gotten all of the exterior turrets down already, and they will want to control the entirety of Legion Esports jungle. But Daylight trying to seize an opportunity, and he will be able to get a kill down on the Mikey in a 1v2 fashion. Cat9 couldn't even find that point in time to just get himself right in close of Daylight. As the Spear of Destruction lands on the Cat9, Daylight re-enters into the battlefield. Dawn trying to catch up onto him, flickers forward with a great stun, but Daylight is still alive. Powerful flickers on forward, and sure that he brings down the marksman. But this is not looking good for Rare Adam. But never mind, because Lanaya joins in the fray, allows him to get himself one kill. We are now in 3 versus 2. And now, Legion Esports, they still have Meow. He can drag on this game however he wants, and just pulling these 3 people.
Especially with the kind of heroes left for Rare Adam. Cat9, Lanaya, Dawn, here comes Joga!
I don't think that they will be able to get a kill out of Dawn. Let's be honest here. He's got a lot of farm to his name. And Lanaya takes the finishing blow onto Mel, effectively staggering his death.
Mid-fight, Lanaya picked up an endless battle. Abstract, this may be the bruiser Lancelot that we've come to see. The rise of this Lancelot that builds endless battle, War Axe, Brute Force, Breastplate, Queen's Wings. This might be it. If it was the other build, the older build, sure, they would have killed Joga first, but good luck trying to take down Meow in a long-term fight like that, a long chase. Let's check it out now. Oh, he's on the way. But it looks like it's closer to the old school Lancelot.
Very hybrid, then.
Just pure. No, there's not a single defense item here. This is just old school Lancelot.
Old school Lancelot.
I bet that last item would be either a halberd or a malefic roar, just straight up.
I would like to believe that it would be a halberd to really just deal with Meow, with all things considered. But Dawn, 1v5! And he almost got away with it, but he bought enough time. With the middle lane and the top lane just pushing right in, the Lord is ready to plunder with a spiraling trident, taking quite a chunk of HP away from the T3 turret.
And that's the base, permanently damaged. Legion Esports have to tend to the top lane inhibitor. Luckily, the next Lord will spawn in that same lane. So the long lane can still take care of itself. There's still an inhibitor there, but you know, damage is done. Turrets don't respawn is what I'm trying to say. Legion Esports have to reconcile this 4K gold lead some way, somehow. I like it though, just as we were saying that Legion Esports very, very reactive. Daylight says, gentlemen, you haven't seen nothing yet. He tried to make a play and it was relatively successful up to a certain point, but this just shows that into the late game, 15 minutes in, they still got something left in the tank. They're not giving up all hope. Like, maybe the first 12 minutes was a download, but now, I think they figured it out.
They can kind of play and just kind of pull the 50-50 game, right? As long as you are able to just wipe out the opponent's team, a single rundown in the middle lane can definitely be possible. One thing's for sure, though, Uranus is also a very late game scaling hero. The moment that you are able to get the very important items such as Oracle, Brute Force Breastplate,
Neither of which are here.
which neither of them are here. All he wants as Meow, all he wants to do is just soak damage. Even if he dies or not, is all reliant on the Radiant stacks. For me, I'm not a big fan of that because you already have a Grok all the way up in front to soak up all the damage. If you're able to weave in and out of the battle, at least you have three thick tanks to kind of go through.
All right, Cat 9. Oh, Daylight's not gonna take this line down. That's a good point. But here's the thing. Cram God can't absorb as much damage as you'd like. The Ancient Gift. Oh my god, wait, Lanaya wants some!
CC immunity allows him to get himself away, but he lost half HP.
All right, a good chunk of Rare Adam's damage is magical. There is straight up infinite magic damage coming from Powerful.
Right, fair.
Cram God can't stand in front of that. Even with the Radiant Armor, it's not as efficient. So you'd still want Meow to be kind of that sponge. Kind of that hero that just stands in the meat shield for Legion Esports to allow Joga to pierce through, to allow Daylight to get those basic attacks in. So now what I'm looking for is a coast to coast. I'm looking for, again, this same position here. I want Daylight to be in the lower part of the map, push that slowly, and then join the fight eventually.
Understandable. So at least they do have a little bit of global presence they can play around with for the Spirit of Destruction. So it's a very simple idea for Legion Esports, as simple to execute, right? Send two front lines, soak as much damage, allow Joga, Shaka, as well as Daylight deal enough damage.
And that's exactly why they're first to the scene here. Despite being down, despite being on the back foot, Legion Esports have a straight up plan. It's very simple. And now Lanaya's in trouble, gets struck down by Joga.
Lanaya all alone up in the top lane, and now we no longer have a jungler for the side of Rare Adam. Legion Esports can seize this opportunity. The top lane is completely pushed out right now. It's either they lose both these turrets and the Lord, or what else is gonna be? As two of the Glorious Pathway just gonna be worked out right now. Joga finds out himself all the way at the back line. Jig gets a kill down on the Mikey. They can try to run down the middle lane, but there's still three people in here. So just take the Lord down.
Massive losses for Rare Adam in the blink of an eye. Could have sworn they had the advantage there. 2,000 gold lead. The map was red, but suddenly Joga strikes. And down fall to Lanaya and Mikey. Nowhere to be found. The two cores of Rare Adam lose them, the Lord. Legion Esports now in control. This is what I'm talking about. This is what we were looking for.
This is what you're talking about the fact that the economy and the goal is going to the wrong person. Because now it does seem like Rare Adam, because of the fact that most of the money is on to Dawn, they can't close the fight past, or rather before 15 minutes, even though it seems like they are on that lead.
That's one of the reasons why, but another is they didn't bear down on Joga hard enough. They didn't deny Daylight the space to farm, and now these two cores from Legion Esports are online. And the fact that Shocker has been, stealing 80% of the time, Glorious Pathway, means they just have maybe 3 tanks. There's 3 tanks. Cram God, Shocker, and Meow. I don't think Shocker's building tanks, but, you know, this is where we are. This is what it is. Daylight pushing in. 2 inhibitors in jeopardy.
Yep, the Plundering Lord now have just went down, but we also have a very crossing Glorious Pathway going out. We do have the line tries to push out onto Shaka to tad a little bit, but not going to be too big of a problem. A defense from Rare Adam.
Rare Adam has great wave clear on a scale of 1 to 5. I put it at 3.5, 4, if I'm being pretty generous, because Powerful just clear, just boop, 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 boop. Mikey has a lot of good basics too. Given it is
Dawn Lanaya too.
Yep, relatively mid-range wave clear. It's so easy. It's non-ult reliant, is what I'm trying to say, compared to the likes of a Farsa or a Zertian that has to clear that way.
Yes,
but
exactly.
It's clearly not as bad as like a Zushin mid. So Rare Adam can take care of themselves, even with the base defense. 1.5 minutes until another Lord spawns lower quarter. This is, I'd say, deadlock. We're at equilibrium when it comes to map control. And I like how now Legion Esports, whether it be on a micro or macro scale, are taking proactive measures. They're sending Daylight where it matters, and they're letting Meow and Cram God just randomly check bushes now more than ever.
Literally, this game is going down the wire. It could go to anyone now. Legion Esports can run down mid. Rare Adam could run down mid too. But now the main problem is for Rare Adam, because the most recent fight, they lost. Is it really all about the economy that Legion Esports managed to back for themselves? Or at this point, it doesn't really matter at all.
No, I'd like to think it's less of the economy. When you cross the 10, 11-minute mark, the whole Don situation was a very low impact thing. Like, there was money on Lanaya, money on Paufu, money on Mikey. I think it was just really Joga's instincts catching the MPL ID vet in Lanaya off guard. Like, Lanaya's done well to protect himself up until that point. And then suddenly, Wild Joga appeared.
Honestly, Lanaya just wanted to spread himself out as much as possible, while in the meantime, the rest of the Vanguard heads up forward and trying to open up the map as much as possible. So, him being able to be in his own jungle, thinking that he's safe, in the end, he's not. Completely just sandwiched out into the oblivion.
Respectable. Attempted Grand Theft Purple by Lanaya, denied here by Joga. So back again to the same situation. Wait, look at this angle by Cramgod. Wait, Joga pushed out. Meow as well. Here comes the rest of them.
Spear of Destruction is going to land. The Lord is currently down to half HP, working with the rest of members of Legion Esports as it flies up into the air. Mikey, very aggressive play as these exploding arrows will definitely explode Cram God. Meow all the way at the back lines, flickers himself away. The Cyclone's Eye allows him to go far enough, and this pulls Lanaya far back. However, Legion Esports did not take that opportunity to reclaim themselves the Lord because it's just way too risky.
All right. Big picture, long and short of it, bottom line, Legion Esports spread themselves too thin. They took so much time to set up that flank angle by Cramgod. It was an immaculate push. He came from right there, where Paufu is. That's where the Grok was. But if they found that, if they made that timing work, perfect, but it was just too long, too little, too late. Meow and Cramgod died. Another SOD, Shocker with the stolen, Glorious Pathway. Lord, not going to be stolen away here. Rare Adam secures.
Yes, they don't have their front lines at all. As long as there is at least Cramgod or Meow, that will be fine for them to try to do something. But with the lack of these two, Rare Adam pretty much know that, okay, we just need to zone them out. There's no way these fragile little creatures will want to inch in any closer.
So now Legion Esports are back to square one because Rare Adam, they found a way to control Legion. But I'd like to think that's more of just a byproduct of Legion switching up their tempo once again. Legion went slow this time around. They changed their angle of attack. They said, Cramgod, Meow, it's your turn again. I'm thinking another comeback will come from if Joga does that start again. If Joga can shock them. But wait, they're trying something new, man. We're back to the start. We're back to the start. Dawn now. Lanaya coming in. Oh, commits a Phantom Execution.
But I think it's fine. At least the Thorn Rose is also used. The rest of the members from the side of Rare Adam, they're slowly just inching in with the Glorious Pathway used from Shock to just to slow the creep down a little bit more, just so that they can kind of clear that wave before they deal with the Lord.
Now the Lord's inside the base, dropping a Glorious Pathway here. Meow's in trouble.
Doesn't seem like things are going to go out too great for the side of Legion Esports because the Lord is just literally knocking onto their doors. But the backlines, though, Joga hoping that he will be doing enough damage as the bruising works out. Cat9 loses the immortality. The next one is going to be Dawn. Double immortality gone now. And now Legion Esports, they dealt with the Lord with no problems. Rare Adam may not have lost anyone, but his two immortalities popped.
And it's not like Legion Esports were happy to go that way. If that fight lasted maybe 3 or 4 more seconds, the base would have been gone. If the wave entered and Rare Adam decided to just focus on the base, we would be looking at game 2. But here we are, Legion Esports holding on for dear life. Rare Adam lost their lead because of the lack of focus on the map. They tried to end right then and there, but then the economy swings once more. Now 4,000 gold ahead, Legion Esports. Again, economy to me mattered less at the 10-15 minute mark, but now we're 24 minutes in. The wild card games, abstract.
They're all long. Honestly,
except for the last one. Yesterday.
Yeah.
See? So you need me here.
Yes, because of you, we will get good games like this, right?
Obviously not because of me.
Honestly, I really want to highlight about the fact that they use the Glorious Pathway to kind of slow the creeps down in the middle lanes to just ensure that the creeps don't just shove right in, because that is going to be a free entryway for Rare Adam to just walk past the turret without ever being hitting them, right? The moment you touch someone, okay, only then you get the aggro of the Lord. So you slow that creep wave down, you deal with that creep wave, and Rare Adam wouldn't even want to walk in.
Yep. So now Legion Esports understand that same jigsaw puzzle. Shocker gets pushed out of that river brush, and now Rare Adam makes a beeline for the Lord. They see that daylight is down there, but again, they have to watch out for the SOD. Coast to coast, very macro-intensive maneuvers here by Legion Esports. Now the dance begins.
Another glorious pathway stolen. The rest of Rare Adams, they are just hovering around the Lord. While Legion Esports, they're trying to be a little bit sneaky and looking for the perfect opportunity to go right in. With a quick little reset from the side of the Crime God as well as the glorious pathway just going to be throwing right off. A shocker just gets snuck down by Lanaya. The next one onto the target board is, of course, going to be Crime. Oh, it's going to be Meow. Georgia also loses his life. But Daylight all the way down to the bottom lane. They're trying to recall. Would that be enough? But unfortunately, it seems like this ballista takes a little bit too long to go down. As such, it's going to be Daylight that will go down. And Rare Adam marches down from the top lane. Nothing that Mel could do as Mikey joins in the garrison.
Game 1.